Hello everybody, welcome back to It's Current Year for another quick battle ladder replay. Today on the Sulphur River map, I'm taking the Beastie Boys, the Beastmen, up against the Greenskins of Skara. And this was a pretty epic game, pretty close finish. And I have today taken I don't know, I guess what you'd call maybe a little bit more of an elite Beastman army, but we'll go through the Greenskins first. So you've got the obligatory Spider Rider core here, Vanguard deployed, as well as the Death Creeper, Spider Rider ROR. Pretty standard unit, very annoying to deal with. Poisoned missile fire at the moment is a pretty strong thing to have access to. So see them in basically every matchup. Some pump wagons back here in the forest, but a front line of the Gobos, one of which is the ROR, the Apic Loonies, 2 Night Goblin Archers. So again, poison missile fire to sort of debuff big combat blobs. We have a unit of Stone Trolls, and we have just Swamp Things with their, I think they cause Terror, and they also have a melee attack debuff around them. So pretty, I mean, the Beastmen aren't a super high stat faction, but just in sort of long grindy fights, combined with their regen to let them stay in the fight. And Terror is obviously no small thing either. So we have a Night Goblin Shaman. Looks like he has taken Itchy Nuisance, as well as, is that Sneaky? No, Gork'll Fix It, and Sneaky Stabbing as well. So it hasn't gone with these. Also taken Night Shroud. Interesting. So it hasn't gone with the Magic Missile, which is generally a reasonably good, can be good for character sniping, because the Beastmen, don't have great armor stats generally. Potentially good sniper, Morgul with that kind of thing. And leading the force, we have Grom on his chariot. So we've seen him on the channel a few times. Pretty good duelist. He has taken the Lucky Banner. Degrade on his here. It looks like he hasn't, and Language of the Boy is obviously good for immune to psychology. Looks like he hasn't taken the Magic Axe, which is interesting. But Lucky Banner certainly can help him. Really, 44% damage resistance is a pretty massive buff for a sort of duelist style character. So, like I said, I've gone semi-elite here. I guess as elite as you can go as the Beastman with your front line. Goreherds with shields, 3 of them. One of which is the Blackhorns Ravagers with their Perfect Vigor. And there are 2 units of Bestie Gores. Just give you a bit of punch, give you some armor. Don't have great leadership, but I guess they're just a little bit more durable. And I've decided to go, like I said, concentrate on trying to go a little bit more elite here. 3 units of Razor Gores, good cost-effective AP, particularly in an anti-infantry, but they can also be used for mass blocking. We have the Butchers of Kalkengard here. We've got a unit of Centigores and a unit of Poison Warhounds on each side of the formation. And we have leading the force a Bray Shaman of Shadows, who has taken Enfeebling Foe and Pendulum, as well as the Jagged Dagger. And we have taken Morgur, the Shadow Gave, with obviously the Staff of Ruinous Corruption. So obviously things will get underway fairly quickly with the Spider Riders. I realize how many of them there are, and I did decide to pull back kind of quick, get my front line up, see if I can bait some shots into shields, but these guys are going to take probably didn't give them enough of a movement order to get them back around. So I'm going to come back up on this way. Obviously at this stage all I can see is basically trolls, so I obviously figure Night Goblins most likely, and there we go, we can see them. And I'm going to come in for a little bit of an attempted sort of squeeze here with the Warhounds over here, but I'll probably go a little bit too wide on this side with the Centigores and the Warhounds. But again, wasting ammo on shields, fine by me. The Warhounds here do get countercharged by the Death Creepers. I am going to pull them back pretty quickly, but they will terror out due to the Swamp Things coming after them. So again, just trying to push this back. Don't want too much poison in the front line engagement. Obviously, it is going to be spread by the Night Goblin Archers. We've got the Bestigores and some pigs over here on the Stone Trolls, but the 8 Peak Loons are going to come in, and this is a great Fanatic cast. It's going to do a lot of damage to the Bestie Gores. It rampages the Razor Gores. We are wrapping around a little bit with our Goreherds, so that's pretty nice. But over on this side, things are going a little bit better. We've routed off a fair bit of their infantry because obviously the Butchers of Kalkengard are a Terror Causer. They were somewhere around here in this fight originally, but yeah, here they are. So, and again, Blackhorns Ravagers pushing through, and we have been able to compromise the Night Goblin Archers. So a big Itchy Nuisance going down, debuffing a lot of the combat stats. Also a Gork'll Fix It. So speed and charge bonus there, probably not as impactful, but the Swamp Things here holding out against some rampage pigs. And Morgul and the Shadowcaster are coming back into the fight now, but we are going to bring the Butchers of Kalkengard back up here as a reasonably nice pendulum goes down on a bit of a cluster. Probably could have directed that a little bit better, but this is where the dual purpose of the Spider Riders. There were also a couple of regular Forest Goblin Spider Riders hidden, which I may have missed in the deployment. So Swamp Things are getting beaten down, just a bit of a weight of numbers. They're getting poisoned by Morgul, no doubt, and they are on the verge of breaking. Over on this side, we have managed to rout this unit of Stone Trolls that we were talking about before, but sadly the Gores are just a little bit slow, so they actually will rally in a moment. I was obviously very keen to keep pushing them off, but would have been a better use for my Hounds or Centigores, and there we go. They're back in the fight now. They'll probably be able to bash down on those chasing Gores. Now the Swamp Things have been turned into Chaos Spawn. This is the automatic proc when a unit gets low. I was a little bit late noticing it. Obviously, you don't get much of a notification, but I have got Grom here pinned with some pigs, and I am coming up around here, trying to basically just force path the spawn past him to get a good wrap before giving an attack order, and hopefully trying to pin him in with the poison and allow the Butchers of Kalkengard. This is a good sniping opportunity for me, so not a lot at this stage, sadly, we can do about the Skirmish Cav. He does have sort of a bit of map control in that regard. The Blackhorns Ravagers have sort of just been piling through Night Goblins. They're up to over 100 kills, and they're going to come back and pressure these Archers. Some Bestigores fighting here will probably be able to finish off the remainder of the Night Goblins, even with the Gorehead. And you see here, Grom is in a bit of strife here. The spawn are about to degen. Now, I was really tempted here to pop the second spawn summon and basically try and kill him, but I figured I erred on the side of caution and I held it in the back pocket. He was routing. He does unfortunately manage just to push his way through. He is a bit of a thick boy. He's got plenty of mass up on that chariot. The Razorgores here have managed to fight off these couple of Spider Rider Archers, but we're going to get a rear charge now. A bit of a misplaced pendulum there. I did have a 2-for-1, but the were given an attack order over here. But we have, at the very least, even though he has rallied, we have eaten a significant amount into his health pool. Butchers of Kalkengard with their regen and shield block chance are still pretty healthy, and they can eat a bit of ammo here from the Spider Riders. Probably a little bit of a mistake. I could have gone... well, the Grom's out of the engagement now, and there's probably not much chance for me to catch him. So I'm going to try and sort of alongside 44 Bestigores here, and I need to probably get these guys back now. They're not going to lose unit models, but it's just sort of chipping away. It's a good use of the ammo, regardless of whether it's going to kill unit models or not. So we're sort of just trying to get some picks where we can. The sort of Greenskin Death Squad here with the Stone Trolls, Grom, and the Beastmen one here that's a little bit sadder, mind you. Morgul and the Bray Shaman are very healthy. Got some pretty tattered Bestigores, but still 44 unit models. And this is still not, backbreaking, but it's, like I said, a good use of the ammo here on the Greenskins, just picking away HP, eating into their healing pool as much as you can. And when they're poisoned, I unfortunately just can't catch Forest Goblin Spider Riders. So basically the two, we'll put it on a little bit of a slow play. He's off cleaning up some of my scraps. I'm sort of doing the same. We'll put it on a bit of a fast play here. The two sort of blobs are going to reunite here and rejoin the fray. But the Butchers of Kalkengard will get a counter charge off against the Forest Goblins here. They'll put a pretty decent amount of burst damage into them. Still operating at 12 unit models, but getting a little bit low with hit points, but plenty of healing space to go. But the engagement's going to probably be taken now by Grom and the Stone Trolls, which again, same thing can be said of them. Still 11 out of 12 unit models there. Their healing cap is visible at least now, and really could be made to pay here for not being able to chase them off early. So the Butchers of Kalkengard will get a counter charge off against the Stone Trolls. I am going to pop the call to violence, and the Bestigores are just going to try and basically tank this charge as best they can. for two reasons. One, they've got some armor, but this is going to be a reasonably nice pendulum, putting a lot of damage into them. Now, this is where the decision to hold the spawn summon really paid dividends, because the Butchers of Kalkengard are starting to lose unit models, but the poison and just the raw DPS of the spawn, I mean, the spawn aren't really going to care about a counter charge or a real recharge from Spider Riders, and given how low we got Grom before, I've also got an enfeebling foe down. He's got his lucky banner popped, which is a good counterplay, but even with that, you know, we're just chipping away damage. He's trying to pull out, so he's not actually attacking back. He does just have the mass to do it. The Butchers of Kalkengard down to 5 unit models, but with that, you know, burst damage on Grom and probably just the terror in the fight here. You know, Language of the Boys isn't active when he's out of combat, so all of this is susceptible to a terror out. That is enough to win the day for the Beastmen. So, yeah, like I said, pretty much that decision to... Oh, there's two schools of thought here. One is that if I had popped that spawn summon, I may have actually been able to kill Grom in that early part where the automatic summon turned the poor old Swamp Things into Chaos Spawn. They're halfway to Chaos Spawn anyway, given how ugly they are. But if for whatever reason I popped that and Grom was still able to get away, this probably would have been a loss. So on balance, I'm pretty happy that I saved that spawn summon. As you saw there, even with the lucky banner down, spawn just raw DPS plus poison, plus he did have the enfeebling foe on him from the Bray Shaman, was enough to just drag him down and force him out of the fight, so that the terror out could take effect on the Butchers of Kalkengard. So a lot of factors went into play there, but I think ultimately that was probably the one decision that probably just managed to cinch the win here. So the semi-elite frontline did okay. I mean, we have one unit of Bestigors be able to, you know, tank a bit of a charge of some Spider Riders in the late game there. You know, 1600 value on them is great, and they've nearly got their cost back. Blackhorn's Ravagers got a lot of kills. Likewise, Gores. You know, I guess they do their bit. They're a little bit harder, or a little bit hardier than Ungors. The Pigs, a bit of a mixed bag, but I like the Pigs in general. I think they're very cost effective. At 600 points, they're a good source of mass, of AP. It was a good Fanatic summon on one unit that pretty much finishes them. I mean, once they rampage, they're pretty much dead. So you've got to be a little bit careful about how you use them. But the Butchers of Kalkengard were probably, along with Morgor, who does carry the Beastmen in a lot of games anyway, but the Butchers of Kalkengard soaked up a lot of arrows, did a lot of healing. They got, obviously, the first good engagement on the Swamp Things, and then managed to countercharge the Stone Trolls. Granted, good value on the Stone Trolls. Swamp Things not so much, but yeah, pretty close battle all in all. Bray Shaman, probably the Bray Shaman's pendulums weren't great, but that enfeebling foe at the end of the game was probably pretty big. And altogether, a really good game. So thanks very much to Skara for the game. Very close one. Could have easily gone the other way, but to all you guys, thanks for checking it out. And until next time, take care.